So yesterday I was I went food shopping. Only half food shopping because I do like a curbside pickup and order everything online. But yesterday I had forgotten a couple of things. So I decided to bring the girls into the store with me. And Ani always wants to go in, but it's a lot with two to do a whole food shopping trip. So she was excited. So I had Ani in the cart and I had Eva in a carrier on my chest. And I was checking out. And as I was checking out, I noticed that there were these two drinks at the top of the conveyor belt on that shelf. And there was this family, this mother, father, and two like older-ish kids, elementary school age, with them. And I had said out loud, I'm like, somebody left their drinks, and nobody really kind of heard me. And then I got distracted because Ani was trying to help me unload things out of the cart. But to do that, she's like standing up in the cart. I'm like, sit down. And I have Eva and I'm bending over into the cart to get things. So it was why I don't go in the store. And so when I got in line, I had been eyeing up which register to go to because there were 3 registers and there were people checking out at each. And so I went into this one because I thought they would be done the quickest. And they were all checked out, and the father and one of the kids had left the store, and the mother and the other child were just gathering the rest of the bags. And she's like, oh no, we forgot our drinks. Honey, go get dad. Go get dad. Tell him we forgot our drinks. Because I guess the husband had the method of payment, right? So then she says to the clerk, oh, I'm so sorry. Can you get those? So he has to like reach over and like grab her drinks. And now we're all waiting for her child to go get the credit card from the father, bring it back in the store so she can check out again. And I'm visibly annoyed because I'm like, are you kidding me? Because there's 2 other registers. Like, just get back in line, lady. Like I'm struggling here with 2 children. You can't just go. Like now we're all waiting. And so she had said to the cashier, oh, I'm really sorry. Like, thanks so much. And then she looked at me and she was like, ma'am, thank you for your patience. And it was kind of laced with this, she was really thanking me for my patience, so she could just tell that I was annoyed by the whole thing. And I was just like, oh, all right, thank you. Because it was nice at least that she acknowledged that. But then I couldn't stop thinking about it because sometimes I have a hard time letting things go. And it was just that there were a couple things. One is like, we don't always realize how our actions affect others around us. And this is one of my main complaints about going out in public in general. Like you'll be driving and someone doesn't consider, that like doesn't move over when there's people trying to get onto the highway. They just stay in their lane and expect you to move around them. So it's this lack of consideration for others that it's hard for all of us to deal with. And then also, my response to it and just how frustrated and annoyed I got, and what to do with that. Should I have said something to her? Should I have asked her, like, well, can't you just go into another line? Because I got little kids here. Can't you see, kind of want to get going. So really, I don't know. There's a yogic story in here somewhere of how do we respond? How do we act? How do we consider how all of those things affect not only us, but the people around us? Like here we are, 2 strangers, me and this woman, never see each other again. And yet without even having to talk to each other, we had an impact on one another's lives. Not necessarily in a positive way, but if my response had been different, maybe it could have been, who knows. So just looking at that today, really kind of sitting in ourselves and noticing how our practice is not just for us, it's for all of us, right? Like maybe if I hadn't been with 2 small children, or if I had, just come from yoga, let's say, I probably would have had a completely different response to that situation than I did in the moment. And so our practice, it just matters. Let's take a comfortable seat, move the flesh away from your sitting bones, and sit up nice and tall. Take your shoulders back and down. And welcome your breath. It's such a windy day out that we can't help but feel and notice the prana, that life force in the wind. And so can we bring that same energy to the fullness of the breath, allowing each inhale to fill us completely and really letting go and focusing on releasing as we breathe out. When the air is still around us, it's easy to forget how it touches everything. But as soon as the wind picks up, as soon as it becomes more powerful, we see how it moves and creates a ripple in everything around us. Every branch and leaf begin to move and be blown and affected. And this is true of people too, even if we're not aware of it, of our energetic field, of our influence and impact on the world. It's there. Sometimes we see it very clearly, and sometimes it's so still we don't notice. But what our practice teaches us is that it matters. The energy that we put out, it affects everyone around us. So today, can we cultivate a sense of calm and stillness, of being really grounded and rooted and clear in who we are? Because then when we're firmly connected to the earth, it doesn't matter who or what blows around us. We're strong within ourselves. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. I invite you to set an intention for your practice today. And then we'll begin our class and seal in our intention with 3 cleansing breaths. Take a deep breath in and let it go with a sigh. 2 more like that. Full inhale and release. And 1 more. And gently bow your head to your heart. Slowly open your eyes and release your hands. All right, let's come down onto our back. Knees bent, feet on the ground. You can take your feet mat distance apart and knock your knees together in constructive rest. And then 1 hand to your heart, 1 hand to your belly. And breathe. Drop the shoulders back and down. Let the weight of the body get really rooted to the ground beneath you. And notice what you find. Notice if there's a feeling of being calm and centered, or if maybe you feel as though you're being whipped around in the wind. As you inhale, the belly rises, the chest gently lifts. And as you exhale, it settles back down. Unfurrow your brow. Let your forehead be smooth. And relax that third eye point right in the center of your brain, between your eyebrows. And drop your awareness back and down. And then toe your feet back to center. Cross your left foot on the top of your right thigh. Pick up your right foot and interlace your hands behind your right thigh. From your left hip socket, press your left leg away so the knee tracks away from the body. And at the same time, you draw the shape of the legs in closer to your chest, allowing the sitting bones to roll down towards the ground. Flex both of your feet. And notice where the weight shifts on your low back and sacrum. There's a tendency for it to collapse over towards the left. So root down more through the right lower back, the right sacrum, and then take your shoulders back and down. Breathe. You can stay with the imagery of the breath being like wind and imagine that as you inhale, it blows all through the body. It goes right to where it's needed, maybe right into that left hip. And from here, extend your right leg up towards the sky, pressing up through your heel. Press your thigh into your hands. Use your hands to draw the thigh back in towards your body. And if the leg doesn't go all the way straight, that's okay too. And go ahead and release. Bring your left foot to the mat parallel with your right and just pause here. Take a moment to feel each side of the body. And then reach your arms overhead. Get a full stretch up through the fingertips. And then switch sides. Cross your right ankle over the left thigh. Pick up your left foot and interlace your hands. Press your right knee away from the body. The movement comes from the hip. Flex both of your feet and notice where your weight distributes and see if you could level that out. Take your shoulders back and down and breathe. Take a few more breaths like this. And then straighten out your left leg, moving that leg towards straight, press up through your heel. Press your thigh into your hands. Use your hands to hug the thigh back in towards the body, finding that isometric push and pull. Release, bring your left foot back to the ground and then your right. Take your arms out to a T or cactus. Lift up your hips, move your hips an inch or two to the left. Place your hips back down and drop your knees over to the right. Take your gaze out over your left shoulder. Inhale, knees back to center. Pick up your hips, move them back to the middle of your mat, and then 2 inches over to the right. Drop your knees to the left. Take your gaze out over your right shoulder. Inhale back through center, hug your knees into your chest. You can give yourself a little massage here on your low back. Making circles in one direction and then the other. And then go ahead and roll to your right side. Make your way all the way up. Come to all fours. Knees right under your hips, wrists under your shoulders. And as you inhale, move into cat and cow. The sitting bones lift, belly softens, melt your heart on the inhale. And as you exhale, round through your back. Move with your breath. Inhale back to center. Tuck your toes, send your hips up and back for downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale forward to a high plank. Knees can come down here or not. Bring your chest forward, bend your elbows straight back, lower all the way down onto your belly. Point your toes, press the tops of the feet down into the ground, and inhale, come on up into cobra. Exhale, back into down dog. Right leg lifts as you inhale. Lunge it forward as you exhale. Come into a high lunge here with your knee over your ankle. Press your left thigh up towards the sky. Hug the legs in towards each other. Breathe. Root down through your feet. And at the same time, so as much as we send our energy down into the earth to ground, we also draw it back up and in. So we can do this by hugging towards the midline. And you could even imagine that your legs are like straws and draw energy back up from the earth. Keep your left hand down, inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, release, step back into down dog. And move through another vinyasa. Inhale forward to high plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale, curl the shoulders back, lift the heart for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts as you inhale. Lunge it forward as you exhale. Left knee is over the left ankle. Press your right thigh up. Draw the legs in towards each other. Shine your heart forward. Gaze forward. Breathe. Keep your right hand down. Inhale your left arm up. Twist. Exhale, release, and downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to meet your hands and exhale as you fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway to a flat back. Exhale, lift the belly and fold. 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, bow back in. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Take a big step back with your left leg. Pivot your back heel down. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh and extend the left arm out in line with your ear. Exhale, release. Pivot your back heel up and switch sides. You can step your back foot forward, your front foot back. Pivot your back heel down. Bring your left forearm to your left thigh and extend the right arm out in line with your ear. Exhale, release. Pivot the back heel up. Bring your hands back down. Downward facing dog. Let's move through another vinyasa and then we'll end in child's pose. So inhale forward to a high plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then bring the knees down, knees wide, big toes together. Find child. In child's pose, we practice this art of surrender. And there's an energy of this in every pose that we do. But it's really of this deep bowing that which we can't control. What yoga reminds us is the only thing that we can control is our response. Inhale, walk your hands over to the right until you feel a stretch through the left side body. Back through center and walk your hands over to the left until you get a stretch through the right side body. Inhale back to center, walk your hands in, come to sit. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide. Press your feet into each other. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Draw the low back in and up. And as you exhale, bow forward and fold. See here for the last few breaths in this pose. If you can practice letting go, you can find a deeper release, a fuller relaxation. Practicing this art of surrender. And inhale to rise. Take your legs wide. Knees and toes point straight up towards the sky. Inhale to lengthen and exhale as you begin to fold forward. With every inhale, there's a lengthening and expansion. And with every exhale, there's a deepening into the pose. Inhale, walk your hands in and then walk your hands over to your right leg. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to bow. Inhale to rise, walk your hands over to your left leg. Take a breath in and lengthen and exhale as you bow over the left leg. Inhale to rise. Bring your hands to the backs of your thighs. Draw your legs in. Then we'll extend the legs straight out. Hug the right knee in. Cross your right foot over your left thigh. Bring your right hand back behind you. Inhale, lengthen up through the left arm, and exhale, draw the belly in as you twist. Gaze comes out over the right shoulder. Inhale to unwind. Bring your right foot to your inner left thigh. Hands frame your left leg. Draw your navel towards your left thigh. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. Extend your right leg to meet your left and just pause. Take a few breaths here and relax your tongue. Soften the face. Drop the shoulders back and down. Then draw your left knee in, cross your left foot over your right thigh. Bring your left hand back behind you. Inhale, lengthen through your right fingertips, reach the right arm up, and exhale as you twist. Inhale to unwind. Bring your left foot to your inner right thigh. Arms frame your right leg. Draw the belly in, align your navel with your right leg. So there's a little twist that happens here. Inhale, lengthen, exhale as you fold. Inhale to rise, bring your left leg to meet your right. Move the flesh away from the sitting bones, sit up nice and tall. Take a full breath in, and then as you exhale, fold over your legs. Heart moves towards your feet. Shoulders move back and down. Press the entire length of the legs, the back of the legs, down into the earth. Inhale to rise. Bend your knees, place your feet on the ground, sitting bone or hip distance apart, feet are parallel. Bring your hands behind you, palms down on the earth, fingers point in towards your hips. Press down into your feet, and then inhale, lift the pelvis, coming into reverse table. Head stays in line with the spine, neck stays long. Exhale, release. We're going to do 2 more of those. Press into your feet. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, release. And 1 more. Press into your feet. Inhale, lift the hips. Broaden through the chest. Collarbones stay wide. Breathe. Exhale, release. Come down onto your back, soles of the feet together, knees wide. 1 hand to your heart, 1 hand to your belly. Take a deep breath in and let go. Relax your tongue in your mouth. Widen the corners of your eyes. Bring the sense of a smile to your mouth. And then from here, you can extend your legs. Moving into Shavasana, let's take a full body stretch first. Reach the arms overhead, lengthen from your fingers to your toes. And then pick up your right leg. Lift your right arms slightly. Make them even longer. And then bring them back down. And then same thing on the left side. Lift the left leg, lift the left arm, lengthen even more, release. Let your feet drop open to the sides. Bring your arms down by your sides, palms face up. If this isn't comfortable, if you feel as though there's any other pose that you need before you can fully relax in Shavasana, please feel free to take it. Then take a deep breath in. Let it go with a cleansing sigh. 2 more. And here, allow yourself to let go. To let go of everything that's outside of your control. To let go of all of the times where maybe you didn't realize that your actions affected others. To let go of all of the times that your response to a situation or your environment was not what you wished it would be. To let go of anything that's been worrying you, that you've been holding on to. Now is your chance to fully release it. To hand it back over to the earth so that that energy can be cleansed, can be renewed and turned into something fresh. Give yourself permission to fully surrender here into Shavasana. And then slowly begin to deepen your breath. Draw awareness back into your body as you wiggle your fingers, your toes. Begin to move and stretch in any way that feels good on your body. Draw your knees into your chest. Gently roll to your right side. Make your way all the way back up to find a comfortable seat. And once you arrive, close your eyes, bring your hands together at heart center. And honor yourself for your practice today, knowing that it does make a difference. That when we change our own energy, that when we find a greater sense of peace and calm within ourselves, this place within us that we can always come home to. But then this is a version of ourselves that we can share fully with the world. And that our energy matters, that it creates a ripple effect. And in this way, we spread calm and peace to everyone we come in contact with. Take a moment and call back your intention that you said at the beginning of class, and then we'll end our class with a final cleansing breath. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Gently bow your head to your heart. The light within me recognizes and honors this very same light in each one of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for your practice. I hope